Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Overcope Podcast. I'm your host, Motor, an Overwatch content creator and, well, not really a streamer anymore because my Wi-Fi's kind of exploded, but a bit of an Overwatch streamer, I guess. And I'm joined as always by Coach Mick and me.
Hello. How's it going?
Did you forget to talk?
I did not forget to talk.
Did
I
you
was
forget?
just thinking.
Did you forget that you have a speaking role in this podcast?
Okay, let me try that. Let me try that. Vsauce, Michael here.
Go away. Go away, man. You're finished.
Vsauce, Michael here.
Hey, Michael.
Where are your feet? Are
Um,
feet real? Maybe.
Is this
Anyway,
is this like a Vsauce thing? I don't
that
get
is very much like one of his videos does legitimately start with Vsauce, Michael here. Where are your feet? Is feet real?
Based,
Question mark?
based.
Maybe.
That's the first thing
Go,
I ask a girl whenever I add them on anything. Just like bare feet.
Nah, man.
Every time.
It's
every
already, it's
time.
we're 2 minutes into this already derailed. It's derailed
Every
dramatically.
Every
It's
time.
drastically derailed already, man.
I only use Sigma skins that have his toes up.
I can actually testify to this. This is correct. This is true. He enjoys that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's true. It's true.
I
I
was
mean,
just-
it is very much a. It is very much like the type of thing. Like, and anyone that has never knows of Michael and knows of Vsauce but hasn't really watched anything, go and watch Michael out of context.
The ones of him on Joe Rogan's podcast. I actually don't even know. I feel like our podcast will not get pushed very well if I say what he said on that podcast because it was that outrageous. Have you seen the clips?
I know of some of the things, but the thing is as well is like Michael is the type of person where if the context is gone, sounds outrageous, but within context, it's not that bad.
Within context, what he was saying, because even Joe Rogan goes, "What are you talking about right now?"
Okay, you know it's bad then.
It's
Joe Rogan
like
thinks bad.
this is not good.
Yeah, we can't say that because they have a following, so it'll kind of like that kind of stuff will become sensationalized. Whereas if we do it, we'll just get like we're just getting choked in the algorithm. We can't do that.
No.
We're never gonna have any views.
Well, if we pop off on like TikTok or YouTube Shorts or something, then like then if you do something stupid, you get attention for it. So it's all right.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you're big and you say something outrageous, you get attention for it. When you're small and say something outrageous, you just get silenced. You just like push the mute button. It's true that it's true.
You have to do outrageous things to get big as well, though. That's the thing. You got to find the fine line, because like
You gotta push that boundary.
unless you're Joey Diaz. The thing is though, Joey Diaz kind of like came out the woodworks quite a few years ago, where it wasn't as competitive back then. I'd say.
Maybe.
So that might have also been part of the reason why. I guess
It is very much like we gotta figure out like what we can do, like what's our budget like? Do you think we could go and record in the
Nothing.
forest? So we couldn't have a podcast up in a forest.
Well, you gotta fly to the UK if you want to do that.
No, like I'm thinking more like a Japanese one, but
No. No.
it's just glitch forest, dude.
No.
Anyway.
I would
Those
like to
who
go
know-
to Japan though.
Those who do not. Same. Oh my god. W Japan episode out of nowhere.
Oh my god, yeah, we just showed up in Japan and like we just
15
like
we flew. The title of the video: we flew to Japan to record this podcast for our 15 subscribers.
For
We flew
10
to
viewers.
Japan.
for you faithful 10.
For you faithful 10 ones.
We got
flew to
3
Japan.
likes. Let's go. Let's go.
I just realized as well, like I don't actually have to go because I could just pretend I was there. They wouldn't know. You're the only
yeah,
one with a
I'll get somebody else, and you just do a voiceover. Like very clearly, this man is a Danish Viking. I'm just gonna get some Japanese guy. I'm just gonna get some random Japanese guy, and we're gonna give him a script of what Mick is saying, and Mick is gonna do a voiceover.
Oh my god.
It'll just be like some Japanese guy talking with a Danish accent.
You probably could find some Japanese freelancing that would actually do that.
Probably.
You could probably. That probably exists.
I think we should just record it on the street of Tokyo. We should just set up a table and just get mics and just sit there and just talk about it.
Can we go to Anime Street then?
I don't know what Anime Street is. I want to know
It is.
Anime Street though.
It is just a big street, long street, where every single shop and every single billboard is just anime stuff.
I can
just
imagine.
anime
I can
culture.
imagine. Is there like a red light district to this Anime Street?
Oh yeah, that definitely is. And there's cat
the whole
cafes.
the whole thing is just the red light district.
Cat. There's cat cafes and maid cafes as well. And it's like
I don't know what that is.
Maid cafes is exactly what it sounds like. You get served by basically like Japanese girls in anime dresses and like maid dresses and cat ears and you name it. And it's like there's nothing inherently inappropriate about it, but it is mega weird.
No, there is definitely something inappropriate because there's a reason that you're going there, and everybody knows the reason that you're going there as well. There is something inherently inappropriate about that person, if you ask me.
I feel like mostly like when friend groups visit, it's like, oh, we should do this because haha, silly, right? I feel like
the person who's suggesting it though. The person who's suggesting it is not saying it for haha silly, but you know if he makes it out to
everyone
friends,
in the group just like everyone in the group is judging the one who suggested this first.
Yeah, that'll be you. That'll be you when we meet up in Japan. It's like, alright, mate.
It would be me. It would be. I'm sorry.
You're right, Mick. Do you wanna go record this podcast? Yeah, but first you wanna go to this this weird, funny little anime street.
I'm not gonna lie. The odd bit is going to be explained to my girlfriend. Why I want on a maid cafe. It's gonna be the. So, honey, listen. Just for cultural reasons, you know, I like anime.
You know how I told you that I like anime, yeah?
Yeah. That's so good. That's actually brilliant.
Yeah, okay.
Oh no. Okay.
This is an Overwatch podcast.
It is. It is.
This is an Overwatch podcast, and as it is an Overwatch podcast, and there's been some pretty tremendous news in the Overwatch scene. Yeah?
Tremendous? Isn't that positive? I don't know if they're positive.
No, it doesn't have to be. Tremendous doesn't have to be positive. Same way awful doesn't have to be negative. Or awfully doesn't have to be negative.
Oh, you're right. Very great in amount, scale, or intensity.
Yeah, and it is exactly that. Which is there's been 1,900 layoffs in Activision Blizzard this past Tuesday, including some really big names, Zoe and Mr. X, and I think Leg Day put up a post. He put up a tweet as well. Didn't explicitly say he'd been laid off, but kind of suggested it. As well as all of the observers, a lot of the production, if not all of the production, who have been at Owl, some of them since the start.
I think they basically nuked.
Oh yeah, Reinforce.
They nuked all of the esports staff, basically, like the whole thing, like everyone you would have known from Overwatch Esports.
OBS Bastion is gone.
Yes, all of the observers. Like I saw on Twitter, there's a small Twitter account for the observers, and they have talked about how all of the observers has been nuked as well.
Yeah.
And obviously, this is just like in our little. This is across Activision Blizzard, and it's layoffs from Microsoft. So I think it's also some of their Xbox team. It's not exclusively
COD League.
Activision Blizzard. Yeah. But yeah. So obviously it also affects games. Overwatch currently being their sort of like main title, obviously. Would imagine quite a lot of layoffs within the, and it's not just the esports, it's also just going to be like the odd position, you know, community managers, some sort of artists, writers, so on and so forth.
No.
We don't obviously don't know the full extent of it. It's very difficult because there is a loud minority of these layoffs that have a following, which are the ones we are hearing about, right?
Yeah.
That's not to say though that these people are not big personalities for a long time in the community, and they play yeah, exactly right. So
they
right.
just they'll just sack John Spector. Like they're just like, John Spector has done such brilliant work for us for the past 7 years, so we just decided to sack him. Because why not? They didn't actually, by the way. I would like to put that out there. I don't think John Spector has been sacked.
Aaron Keller gone.
It's just like, it is like we said. So when I first saw Zoe had been laid off, I kind of thought her opinions are not always the greatest in terms of like actually understanding the game. I thought it was really strange that they laid her off after having her be the person to announce Overwatch Champion Series. Like, she was in the video talking with the other like people who had been planning it and stuff, and she had also been planning it the whole time. But from like the esports side of thing, I wasn't devastated on the casting front of things. But then you kind of think about it a little bit more, like the face of esports sort of thing, or the face of the Overwatch esports anyway, and then finding out that like she'd been sacked as well. I kind of thought that she just meant she'd been laid off from her like the esports side, or she was just going to go do an internal thing, and then you find out like, because that was all I saw was Zoe, and then you see Mr. X and like reinforce. I didn't even know Jake had been laid off, to be honest.
Yeah, he's going to do paid coaching now. I saw on his Twitter.
Yeah. And then all the other casters, I can only assume all the other casters as well, because if Leg Day's gone, then they've I don't know, but I'm assuming.
I think the whole esports division has been nuked. Yes.
Which is such a terrible idea. We've just decided to announce this new esports system for like the whole of for the whole of Overwatch, which is potentially going to revitalize the whole esports scene, and hopefully going to bring in loads of new people and give loads of new opportunities and stuff, and then to lay off like long time faces for the Overwatch esports, not just like just Zoe or just Reinforce or just Jake or like the casters, some of the casters, every single person involved. It is like boggling to just think like, what are they even thinking? What are they planning? Who's gonna be involved in this now? Because yes, there is like the whole scene of the contenders casters, but why it doesn't make any sense realistically to completely dismantle your entire team, like your production, your viewers, your observers, sorry, your casters. Everything that you had is now gone, so you have to start completely from scratch with a new system as well. So it's a completely clean slate. It doesn't make any sense to me personally. I don't really see what they're planning.
I think one of the things that from just reading through Twitter, and I do encourage anyone to just go and read Twitter essentially, if you want to follow any of this. There's too much of this stuff to go on for anyone to really talk about all of it. Like from the picture that I got painted, at least by just reading stuff, is that most of the esports division actually didn't know until like right when it happened. Like the people were basically called in like right at the event for meetings, and a lot of these people knew sort of from potentially like some build up that it was a big firing round for the layoffs as well, because like they were all so excited about the Overwatch Champion Series, right?
Yeah.
And you can't have been publicly excited on your personal Twitter about this if you knew that around the corner you're not going to be part of this, right? So it's a big, for me it's such a bittersweet thing, and then there's a couple of things that ties into this, right? We had, before Overwatch League, we had an open series. We've talked in length about this, which fostered a lot of community talent, because it was community driven before Overwatch League. There wasn't a whole lot of money going around. There wasn't a whole lot of anything. It was just people that were genuinely passionate about this. They ran the thing. They made the orgs. They made the organizations. They made the events. They made the tournaments. They casted it, streamed it, produced it. They did the whole deal, right? And like we did back when we franchised it, we took this whole scene of people and nuked them and said, okay, well, we're now making this some exclusive club that you have to be invited into, and all of the people that have built up esports for Overwatch were left in the gutter. And now the people that have thrown themselves within the system, we're guttering again. And I think it's just such an awful timing with not much thought put into it, because now we are going to without swearing, because I need to remember not to swear, we're going to basically have the Champion Series come up and be casted and produced and introduced by some bozos we have no idea who are. Right? It's like some Paul McGravy is gonna come and do the casting, and everybody's gonna be who?
Hey, people know who McGravy is. Come on now.
I mean, I don't know anyone named Paul McGravy, but
There is actually a guy in Overwatch called McGravy. You know that, don't you?
I don't actually know that now.
He coached Florida Mayhem last season. He played for them as off tank in season 3. He was actually a goat.
Oh,
He
right.
won
I
the
do
Dennis
actually know
Evolka.
that.
He was the guy who got in the Diva cosplay. This is
No. But I mean, so then let's call him Paul Striker, right? Like, I don't know, like.
There's also a person called Striker.
I mean, that one I know.
Don't say Carpe. I swear to God, you say Carpe.
I don't know, I was thinking about Paul Super, but yeah. Anyway, no, but the point remains though. It's going to be someone. Maybe, I mean, it's not entirely out of the realm of possible that we take some of the old casters and say, hey, do you want a reinstallment within the Champion Series, right? I'm not saying that is possible. It feels like such a bad timing,
Yeah.
when we're about to start reinventing esports, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just like, bye, I guess.
Yeah. Say goodbye
And
to
I do
everything.
also want to mention another thing here. I do want to mention another thing within this whole thing that makes me in particularly pissed about it, right?
Yeah.
So it's just come out that Overwatch 2 has grossed $225 million, right? And
Okay.
conveniently after we get this number that they've grossed 225 million USD, we make some massive layoffs, right? Because I just want to be clear to the uninitiated. Layoffs, the whole point of layoffs is that you sack a lot of people that you pay a salary to, so that you don't have to pay that salary. And then you have some more, net profit, essentially. And this net profit will go to the executives. It's not going to go to all of the other employees. It's going to go to the executives, directly into their own pocket. The layoffs is not like, oh, we just happen to restructure our working environment. Oh, we need new talent. This talent is outdated. Oh, there was conflict within a lot of the areas and we had to lay off some people so that there was no. That's not what it is. What it is we've decided to become greedy. It is out of greed, right? A lot of these people that works on this game, I mean, and other games for that matter too, but also this game, have been laid off so that we can create less content, create less updates, create less new things for you, while still trying to recycle and sell garbage tier things to you. So essentially, we're probably gonna get a lot of like really bad battle passes and really awful remakes of skins and kind of stuff. So that they can, because the thing is, like, you do take a hit in sort of income, but the hit is not nearly enough. It's not a proportional hit. You maybe lose like 20% income, but you also, if you have to pay like 50% less in salaries, like they definitely profit from doing this. It is a profit move, and it's not in the interest of the consumer or any of the employees. Just to be very clear.
Or really the long-term profit either. Like, this is, to me, the way that I see this is a short-term cash grab because they don't have faith in what they have right now. So rather than trying to keep all of these employees who have been doing a good job, let's be realistic. If you have been able to make the Overwatch League survive with all that has happened, like the amount of like what the devs put the Overwatch League through by not changing the meta for over a year, which was just insanely boring. The greedy franchising that Blizzard put them through, the less and less and less funding that they've received over the years, cutting the staff down in half. Basically, the whole production squad just got cut in half before the last season. Or during the halfway point of the last season. If they've been able to do that, then they would have been able to do a lot more given funding. But this to me says they want to cut a bunch of salaries, pick up some people who aren't as well known to do. I'm not gonna say like new talent can't do as good of a job, but they won't have to take as much of a salary because they aren't as well known and they might not do as good of a job. So they might not be able. Their asking price isn't as high as like, if you get all the contenders casters, their asking price isn't as high as Mr. X and Uber and Jake and Reinforce and Custer. Those people have extremely high asking prices. They're not going to ask for the minimum wage. They'll be asking for a little bit extra because they're so well known and they've got a brand. To me, this says we're going to pick up a bunch of people who haven't got as much of a brand so far, and we're going to give them as low a salary as we can possibly give them because we don't have faith in what's going to come, and we just want to up the profit while we can, and then once this dies, which they're expecting it to, then they'll just be able to cut it completely, sever ties, and then just leave it to rot, essentially. That's the way I see it anyway, and I don't want to be very doomer about it, but I just can't see any other reason for such a move at this stage. Like, I can't really possibly see a good other reason for that.
No, it's definitely a cash grab. It is definitely a cash grab. There is no world where this is not a cash grab. It is 100%. Is we are putting the engines on like 10%, and then we are just selling whatever fuel we may have right now. That is what's happened right now. So I think, as an Overwatch player, you are going to feel this. Like, throughout the next couple of seasons, you are going to feel an otherwise fairly well-moving train slow down. Which I don't like to be doomer usually. I do usually try to see the best in things, and there are certain scenarios in which it's not the worst thing that could have happened. But a lot of layoffs right now is a bad thing for Overwatch as a whole, right? Like, as a whole, this is a bad thing for Overwatch. Maybe like combined like it with other things, it's like it is certainly a bigger move, right? And it is certainly like it's a bad move from a greedy company. And it is unfortunately the kind of like short-term sort of like Like a lot of things that happen in the economy today, and like companies, like especially game companies, it is very short term. It is just about satisfying the short term goals now, and not viewing your. You don't view your game as like a long term investment as much anymore. I feel like. Where like back in the day, I feel like you'd cater more to like the thing is because I feel like they just know that they can minimum put out stuff for people to buy, and people will buy it. Like they can do minimum, and get a little bit more than average out of it. There's some questions about, for me at least, about the esports side of things now that we're partnered with Faceit. Like, are we essentially assuming that there'll come some money from Faceit to like build up an esports scene again? Because you will need some sort of money to build that. Are we assuming that that's gonna be like South Arabian oil money?
That's actually a good point, because normally you see that and you're like, oh my god, there's going to be like the funds on this is going to be crazy. But then now you look at the move that we've just made of like evidently a cash grab. Like the only way that I see this as being like we're about to get loads of money pumped in would have been like if they kept what we already had and then they were like, and we got Super to be the host. Like, do you know what I mean? Like we brought Moth out of retirement. We paid him $1 million, so now he's playing again. Like, that would have been the only way that I could have seen it. Like, really, been loads of money getting pumped in. But now I look at it and I'm kind of just like, I don't know if there is going to be a lot of money pumped into this project. I think this could be a little bit of a we're just gonna set up and just forget about it, which because that's kind of in Blizzard's angle.
So you're saying like we basically we keep the whole thing sort of self-sufficient, automated systems,
Yeah.
then we don't put any money into it. We'll probably retain the same sort of like viewership as we always have, except now we don't put money in, because realistically they were probably losing money on Overwatch League at the end, right?
Yeah, maybe. Overwatch,
yeah.
when Overwatch 2 came out, I think they probably started to turn a bit of a profit again.
Not from the esports scene. I don't think the esports scene has been profitable for a long time.
I don't know about that. Their viewership,
I don't think
their viewership was highest. The highest peak that Overwatch viewership has had was in Overwatch 2.
Yeah, but the peak means nothing. Every single go back on the Overwatch League channel, right? Every single like Overwatch League stream at like 17k views. That's not a lot for, well, a YouTube video / stream in general. Let alone an actual official league. Like that viewership is not like they are not turning a profit on that.
Yeah.
No, not a snowball's chance in hell. And I don't think they have for a long time either. Of course it peaks in Overwatch 2. Everybody wants to see like their favorite like Overwatch 1. Like it's the professional part of the new game, right? Everybody wants to see that, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they'll stick around. It dropped quickly again, like rapidly. So I don't think the thing's been profitable for a long time. So there's two ways we can go here. It's like we either invest some money and we go above and beyond, or I think what's more likely to happen now is we're not actually going to put any money into this. We're going to let it do its own thing and let it simmer for a while. And worst come to worst, we'll probably have a similar income from our esports franchise, except now we don't pay anything for it. Like we're not burning money into this.
Yeah.
I think that's what's gonna happen.
So the same thing that's happened with the Overwatch League. That's kind of what I was. That's kind of the thoughts that were on my mind. When
I mean, there's no
last...
telling really. There's no telling, but that's where my mind is going as well, right?
Because that's kind of what happened. It was just like Blizzard were like, all right, the Overwatch League is set up, but it's kind of dying now. So shoo, you guys go over there and just do what you want for a bit, and we'll just keep on not doing anything with the game as well. So we'll do nothing, and you guys will just manage. You guys can just cope over there, basically. Both in the coping that we hope Blizzard will be nice, and coping in the sense of just getting by. But I don't know. I don't think that right now things look amazing for Overwatch Esports. And the more we talk about it, I wasn't really of this opinion. We should probably boycott the Overwatch Champion Series, really. It's not very fair on all the people that worked on it. Like you said, nobody really knew. Zoe said that she had an inkling on her tweet. She said that she popped champagne for it because she kind of had a feeling last week. Because I'm pretty sure there was layoffs in the COD division, the COD League division last week or something. So she said that she had a bottle of champagne ready, and she's ready for better things and stuff. Fair play to Zoe. But what is really messed up is that they had people work on the Overwatch Champion Series and prepare it and set everything up, and like I'm going to mention it again, they had Zoe present this to everybody, and then they've sacked her. You know, her and Mr. X and all the other people that worked on it who have been sacked thought they were in for a job for at least another year, for the first year of Overwatch Champion Series, and then completely out of the blue just been sacked. It is a heartless company tactic that is really quite disgusting when you think about it. It's disappointing, to say the least, to think about the. It's disappointing, to say the least.
I do want to, because you said we should boycott it, right? I do want to mention, because I am very much of the same opinion as Spilo when it comes to this. Boycotting will do nothing unless you can get an astounding amount of people that do not really care to care. Boycotting will do nothing, and therefore boycotting is not like, boycotting is like a passive stance on an issue, whereas what you need is an active trying, right?
Yeah.
So you like, you're not doing much by boycotting. He talked about this with the whole KSA thing, right? He talked about how boycotting the Overwatch Champion Series because it's run by Saudi Arabian government money will not actually make it not happen. And the vast majority of people care in the moment and care in the debate, but when they go on about their day-to-day life, when they come home after work and the Overwatch Champion Series is on and there's nothing else to do, they're watching the Champion Series, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's that is reality. Whereas he said, like, it's better to go and donate your money, put your money where your mouth is, donate to some charities that help human rights in Saudi Arabia. Do your own research about that as well, right? Is what he said. And I do just kind of, I feel like boycotting isn't going to do anything. This thing, it's going on. The train wheels are rolling. This is happening.
Yeah.
Boycotting is not going to do a whole lot. And I think, let me paint an example here, because I feel like it's a harsh claim if I don't paint an example. Consumers will be loud, or some consumers will be loud about what they care about in terms of like morals and whatnot. But in reality, given the right circumstances, people will just not care. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So essentially,
How's your mind?
let me give you. My mind did go blank. I had an example. Okay, here's the example. This is a take from someone called Asmongold on Twitter. It's not about Overwatch. It's about games in general. and he is a person that I don't usually agree with because he is a little bit extremist and whatnot. But this one take I do agree with. He says that the success of Palworld, I don't know if you're familiar,
No.
is a direct indicator that customers do not actually care about anything but a good game. Right? So that Palworld is a game that has been under heavy investigation for use of AI, potential bestiality within the game, and some copyright infringement. It is essentially a copy of Pokemon. And also less than ideal labor conditions for the company, right?
Yeah.
And it is like one of the highest like peak current games of all times on Steam, and it is the most like selling game on Steam currently as well, right? It is massively popular. So his point is just like all of these bad things that consumers say they care about, it doesn't actually matter. All consumers care about at the end of the day, like the number one metrics is it a good game? And it is a good game. So I think I stand a little bit on the same side. It's like it's very easy to be that person and say, oh, we gotta boycott this and we gotta morals and oh, everybody, and like it's like there is a majority of people who preach about their morals, but also actually as soon as the conversation ends, carry on and do whatever they gotta do, you know? They live their life the way they would anyway.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't believe in boycotting. I don't think boycotting is gonna do anything in this regard. Does not mean that I fully think that everything is correct. I think your efforts are wasted boycotting it. If you want to watch it, by all means watch it. If you want to boycott it, by all means boycott it. But if you actually want to make something happen, take a more active stance.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Do something. Create your own esports franchise. Go on. Community driven. Go for it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. It's kind of tough to stand by this company anymore, though. It's just the way I see it. It's like we keep thinking that we're gonna get something good, and then they keep going. It's like being in a toxic relationship, honestly. Like you think you're about to have a really nice day with your boyfriend, and then he turns around and says, "You look kind of fat in that dress, don't you?" And it's like, we're supposed to be having a nice day in Disney World, okay? That is what being a fan of an Overwatch of a Blizzard game is like at this stage.
It's like being in a relationship with a guy, and then he comes at you and then tells you like, "Oh, I've actually been married for 2 years after you've been together like months," and then you're like, "Well, break up, like get a divorce," and be like, I'll get a divorce next month. Don't worry about it." And then it's been like 8 months, and he still hasn't gotten a divorce, and you realize that you're just a tool. That's what it is.
The thing is, I'm not divorcing this game, so it's just, it's
Point in case with the consumerism, guys. Point in case.
Yeah.
Point in case. And Motor isn't an asshole. Motor is just your average consumer.
You're not going to stop coaching it, so I don't know why you're...
Exactly. And I'm not an asshole either. I'm just an average consumer. To be fair, I haven't coached in a while.
Yeah, because you keep ignoring my VOD request.
You have not requested another one.
No, I haven't.
No. You're not about to gaslight our listeners like that.
No, because I haven't been struggling, to be fair. No, you coached me the other day. We did live coaching. You watched me play five games. This is true.
That wasn't even planned. That was just me watching you and getting rapidly frustrated.
Yeah.
That was just me watching you and be like, "My man, you are better than this." And like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
You did immediately after have a lot of really good games, though. I mean, it sounds by the amount of bragging screenshots you've been playing.
51-2 in 18 minutes.
51-2? Can you believe it?
I know, man.
Can you believe it?
I was rolling those diamonds. I was rolling and smoking those diamonds. I'm actually back to Masters 4 as well.
Oh
Happy.
wow.
Yeah, man.
I should probably go and do my replacements. I'm still just at a D4. I should probably go and do my
No,
replacements.
you probably should.
Playing the game, you know? It's
No,
crazy.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't get that.
Oh, you don't know?
No,
You
I
don't.
don't.
You don't get playing the game?
No, I don't
I've
get
just
not
been
playing
playing
the
Risk
game.
of Rain.
I don't get the struggle of playing in the game. Well, I used to, so I do get it. But
I mean, I don't
still
play too
do.
much.
Um,
I think I'm positive in this current placement. I think I could just go and like, you know, win 3 games and probably get like D3.
maybe.
But anyway, no, maybe.
It's not what this
Probably
podcast is
just-
about, but maybe,
But maybe.
possibly.
But maybe. Who doesn't want to hear about mixed replacements?
I don't think anybody cares. To be perfectly honest.
No one cares. Not a soul cares.
Go put it on your
True, you're not wrong.
Facebook, boomer.
On my Facebook.
Yeah.
It's just Facebook just fell off so incredibly hard, so incredibly quickly.
Everything's just falling off.
No, but like Facebook, like so I had Facebook sort of like when I was like in my early teens, right? And we like used it. But now when you go on Facebook, I swear it's all just like actual bots. Like there's not a real human on there anymore.
Yeah, there's my nan and my mum.
He thinks they are real humans. Anyway,
Robots.
the
Sent
the
by the
NPCs, man.
government.
The NPCs, man. People in that age group are NPCs.
Not wrong. Anyway, sometimes you just try and have a conversation with them and it's not part of their dialogue set, so they just ignore you. That's what I tend to find.
I think I've actively seen my parents crash sometimes. Like when I've started a conversation with them, and they just go like, and then they continue like just I don't know making the coffee, you know, or whatever they do at that time, do
Yeah.
the dishes, and then I'm just like, excuse me, and then you just kind of have to leave the kitchen, just be
Yeah,
like,
it's just
"The
awkward silence.
what happened? What happened? It's like I there was like a full on like conversation starter and a question on the whole deal, and they just crashed. Like they just yeah.
I'm just gonna put it out there to anybody listening and to Mick and B right now. They just couldn't be asked. They were just like,
They couldn't.
you said what you said, and then they listened to it, and they're just like, I'm tired. I just don't even want to answer. And so they did.
To be fair, I think it's a part of being, but I do also sometimes think that it's just like just not, you know, fully understanding, because like, maybe a mixture of being tired, but also like tired hearing the start of the sentence and then deciding not to listen, and then they're like, it does make them seem awfully senile at times.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I kind of see that. The amount of times I've spoke to my mum, I've been looking face to face with my mum, asked her a question, and then she turned around and walked out of the room to go do something else. And it's like, Mum, I just asked you a question. And she'll be like, oh yeah, and then she'll answer from outside the room and then carry on. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
What? Like, took the AI a second to generate an answer. They needed to formulate quickly.
Honestly.
Yeah, I think no point beating a dead horse. So we've kind of given our 2 cents on the layoffs and how it's going to impact things. And I'm sure everybody will have heard every single opinion under the sun by now as well. So,
Yeah, we'd say our takes fairly early, but you receive them fairly late in the
Yeah.
debate usually. So these takes are always fresh takes. You just receive them a bit later.
and they're always the most based takes. So don't worry about it. You gotta wait a couple days for the based takes. It's just that's how it is.
Yeah.
However, past
They're
that,
not very big, but they are based. I'm joking.
Overwatch Anonymous has asked us a question, Mick. Do you know what that question is?
What is it?
They're asking for more tier lists. They're not asking us, they're just asking for more tier lists in general. But we will provide for the people. We will provide
Spoiler
for the
warning.
people.
I did know that, but if I just said I didn't know, then be silent and be awkward. It's for the uninitiated viewer, I didn't know. I, as a matter of fact, didn't know.
No, he didn't. He's lying.
Okay.
Is that up? That's up. There we go. Okay, alright.
Just make lion, you'll never know.
So we are ranking today. This is what we're ranking today. Sorry, it took me a second to formulate what I was saying. What are the best ultimates in Overwatch 2? Now, for some reason, okay, now don't ask me. There are 4 ultimates here. 2 of them are off screen. There are 4 ultimates here that are not in Overwatch 2. Despite this
There's
being
also one that isn't an ultimate. I'm fairly sure we don't count Diva Remake. Do we? Are we going to
oh my god.
Diva Remake?
Okay, well actually there's 5. There's 5 then, because I also counted because Mercy Res used to be an alt, and that's in there.
I mean, to be fair, we could rank Diva Remake. There is the kill potential on it, but I feel like that's just part of the bomb. So we probably just rank the bomb.
We
as a
didn't
thing,
even
right?
we didn't even like decide how we're gonna rank this either. By the way, like
I think we just rank them strictly off like how good they are, right?
yeah, value. Okay.
Value, how much of an. Also, remember that when we're looking just at the ultimate. If we rank a character's ultimate low, does not mean that that character's bad. That just means that their ultimate doesn't really do much. Okay. Just to be clear, the character's power is not fully just tied to the ultimate. That is not how the game works.
Bob. How are we ranking
Bob.
Bob? B?
I was thinking it's like a. It's a really good zoning ult, and it can provide amazing pressure if you know what angles to put Bob on, and how to combine it with just sort of like holding a different angle on Ash as well, and dynamite pressure. It's a good ultimate. It's B for now, without like me having thought this too much through. Probably a B.
Yeah, it's a good ult. It's not an amazing ult. It is not terrible though. Nano.
S tier.
Yeah.
Nano's
Probably.
really good. Do we factor in how it is to farm an ult? Because I think if Nano was difficult to get, then perhaps not an S tier. But the fact that you can farm Nano so quickly,
No, I just think
and the fact that
because it's not about the neutral value. It's just about the value that you get from the ultimate, and I think
so we don't
that's
factor in how long, like, because the thing is like, if we look at how easy it is to farm Nano right now, very good. Let's say it was difficult to get Nano. Let's say they increased the ult
okay.
cost.
Actually, yeah.
So probably,
No, we will factor in how easy it is to farm them. It's an S though.
okay.
It is an S though.
It's an S. It is an S. Yeah, it is an S. It's a 200 heals, 50% damage reduction, 50% damage increase. Ultimate on a not so difficult to acquire timescale. It's good. It's strong. It's a strong ult.
Works really well with other ultimates as well, which we're gonna come up later. Art Matrix.
B?
B.
Don't feel like. No, A.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm
A.
leaning into an A. I mean,
A.
the amount of value that you
A.
can find from that, like, and it's so easy to farm as well. It's another ultimate that's like not a throwaway ultimate, but you don't need to be scared. Like, you don't need to be, you know, you can be just in a fight, and maybe you've already popped in a team environment now. You know, maybe you haven't scheduled to use Ant Matrix, but if you see the opportunity for the value and you think that the fight might not be won without that, it's an ultimate that you can just put in there. It clears a full angle. You can't peek Ant Matrix. That is the first. Any person who has any sense will either say we've got to speed past this Ant Matrix, or we've got to get into cover. We've got to go to the corner behind us. You know, nobody ever calls just stand in LOS where we are in front of Ant Matrix. I've never heard that one before. So it completely clears an angle. Can be comboed with a lot of things like the Fire Strike. Amp Fire Strike is crazy. Good value sometimes. Definitely was an Overwatch 1.
No, it still is because they buffed Fire Strike to be 100 damage again. So
yeah. So it's one shot again. Yeah, it's really strong.
And I think it does comes like. Well, I mean, it depends. I think if we're talking in a team environment, it's probably also an S tier. But I think if we take a broader term and say like we can take some sort of like team plan, some sort of like ranked like mixed ideas, then I think it does drop a little bit because value in value in ranked is like a lot of the time in rank. I feel like the highest flex supports, they just hold like an off angle with BAP doing damage as you
Yeah.
heals your team a little bit, and they'll just pop the window and put up pressure themselves, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, like there can be the odd sort of like choke point slash pushing like a control point with a window kind of deal.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It is instant space creation every time. So it's an ultimate that is always respected. Like I said, you never look at an ultimate and think, ah, it's nothing. It is definitely something. You should be scared. Well, but you
never
don't always have to be
scared.
scared. But you know what I mean.
I'm never scared.
Artillery.
D?
I'm kind of like that could be a C.
C?
I think
C. Yeah, C.
you can force a
C.
lot of resources with that. I'm not saying it's. The thing is, it is kind of one of those where if you're not very good with it, then you're not going to force resources. But it's not like a really high skill ceiling where you have to. Be
I look at the list, right, and I'm just thinking, am I thinking a Bob or am I thinking like Artillery Strike is the better one? And I go like, no, but Bob is clearly better than Artillery Strike.
Yeah. Yeah, Bob's better than Artillery Strike. Both have their case uses. I definitely think it's a C. It's not a D. I don't know what I'm going to put in D yet, to be honest. I feel like we'll find out when we get there. But I've just seen one that I'm definitely thinking goes in D. What's going to make this difficult is that I don't think there are that many ults in the game that are bad. So then it's like we're going to end up with a lot of ults that are not in D. Well, for me anyway. I feel like you maybe have a different opinion on that.
I mean, like none of them can be bad, but like compared to others, they can still be like.
That's what I mean.
Right?
You got to try and.
But like even like a D tier ultimate is probably still like you can find a lot of value. It's just not. It's like all of the ultimates are very valuable. It's not like about that. It's just compared to each other, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. I've just seen another D tier. Rally.
Oh, that's such a difficult one. I feel like it's strong. I feel like that's like maybe an A tier.
I think it's better than Bob.
It is better than Bob.
I think it's though.
I think used correctly, because you can like you're using rally mostly as an aggressive tool.
Yeah.
Or to live dives like nano, like dives, right? Like that kind of ordeal. Kind of hard to gauge because we're not really in a dive meta right now, but I feel like it's stronger than that.
What I'll say is, do we want to rank a few more?
I would say it's an A tier. That's all I'm gonna say. But if you think B, then we stick it.
I think rank a few more, or like, and then we come back to rally at the end and say where does, because I'm gonna need to visualize where we're putting everything else.
Yeah.
Before. Okay. And this is another one where I'm just kind of like, I'm not sure, but I think it's going somewhere here, maybe.
I'd say C.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I mean, Doomfist Ultimate is just used as an extra life a lot of the time. Like it's just you'll see like get Quake done, have his ultimate, he will end a bit harder. Then he will use his ultimate, reposition sometimes in like a higher ground spot or something like that, where he can like then have all of his resources back and then go for another rollout.
Yeah.
I don't think it's actually that good.
I'm surprised by that.
I think I think it's a C tier. I honestly don't think we can even justify a B tier.
The way that I look at it is, it's a cleanse. It's a free, like it's a get out of jail free card. It heals you for almost your max HP.
Yeah, but what value does it actually give you?
A full additional re-engage. So you can which is
like I don't know, but it doesn't. It's not no, it's not that strong. Like you don't look at them thinking that. How often have you played against the Doomfist? Thought, oh, he has Meteor Strike. It's gonna be tough to win this fight. No, you've never thought that. You've
Okay,
never
yeah.
thought that. Like it's just not a strong ultimate. It is very much one
Okay.
that needs to be utilized so that Doomfist can get more neutral value, like coming out of it. But it's not a strong ultimate.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's a fair point. That is a fair point. And that brings us to Diva Bomb. I do think. Hold on. Do we think it's better than Artillery?
No, I actually think that's better.
I don't know if I agree
I
with
think
that, but I kind of see your angle.
I think artillery actually forces more value. Because also, like with artillery strike, with meteor strike, it's a one and done if you try to kill stuff, and
Yeah.
you can re-engage, right? But with meteor strike, you can bait out a lot of abilities. And you can also, if you do the correct thing, where you place down 2 circles first on a squishy, and then you gauge their movement and press down the last one. A lot of the time, you can guarantee a kill unless there's any kind of protection, cooldown involved, survivability cooldown involved.
Yeah.
Which at that point as well, you obviously force that too. I don't know, because you never actually or at least at the highest level, it's rare to see an aggressive use of meteor strike.
Yeah.
It does happen, of course, but
I guess I'm thinking more comp value. In comp, I'd say it's a really strong ult.
no, I'm thinking comp, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this is me coping because I do kind of struggle against Doomfist players, but I tend to find that the Doom will just live forever in my backline when he has ult.
Yeah, but I feel like it's just it's not the ultimate though. It's his general survivability and his kit and whatnot.
Yeah. This one makes it tough because it's like, am I making this ultimate better? Because he is in quite a good position right now at this patch in the game.
Yes.
So because it enhances his neutral game, does that mean that the ultimate is good, or does that mean that his neutral game is really good and his ultimate kind of just helps that? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I do.
So then,
but I think if we
does that make his ultimate good, or does that just mean that he's good?
But if we just look at the ultimate, an ultimate that has to be used mostly as a defensive thing, in my book, is inherently not going to be that strong. Whereas Nano,
I'd have always
for
said
example,
B
has
is like an
both.
A-tier ult.
But that doesn't have to be used defensively.
It doesn't have to be, but neither does Meteor Strike, because
it is.
We
Go
think about
Go and watch Get Quake done. Go and watch 2-hour VOD of him playing the game. Count the amount of times that he uses that thing to regain HP, positioning, and cooldowns, and then count the amount of times that he drops it on top of an Ana. Go and count it. Go and count it.
Listen, me and you think of this differently, because the way that I see it is, if he goes and ints harder, then pops ult to live longer, gets healed up, cleanses himself, gets his resources back, lands in a position to then just immediately re-engage. I see that as an aggressive use, not a defensive use. So that's kind of maybe where we're differing here, because I see the way that he's not, yes, he's using it to live, but he's also using it to be able to live so he can then go output even more pressure after he's just forced out those cooldowns.
That is just his neutral game cycle, yes, but he uses it defensively to regain things so that he can go aggressively again. Yes, you're not wrong. But at what point would every single ultimate in the game also be an aggressive ultimate then? Because then you could say that May Ice Block is an offensive ability because you use it to regain your HP so that you can go back and land a wall and kill something. It's you see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
It's everything's an aggressive ability then, because that's what you want to do. You want to earn your right to be aggressive.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see that. Okay, I see that. You won me over. Diva Bomb.
I don't know. I don't think it's that good. I think Diva Bomb is in the same category. It's bad. It's like she suffered so hard from going into Overwatch 2, where Bomb, it's so difficult to get kills with Bomb now. There's so much like movement, like DPS, like the DPSs that are being played have movement. The other tank is like very difficult to kill in general, and will have tools to live it. Supports like, Susu.
I was about to say when Suzu exists.
Susu, TP, Fade, Dash, Pedal Platform, Life Grip, Lamp. It's just, it does force some resources. I wouldn't put it actually in a D tier.
Oh yeah, oh no.
Because I think because like the thing is you can use it as an extra life, right? It is an extra life too, so it does allow Diva to get more neutral.
There. So, well, in that case...
No, Meteor Strike is better. Meteor Strike is better. Just to be clear, Meteor Strike is better. I feel.
Yeah,
like.
I was about to say, because then I was just thinking about it, I was like, well, that actually means that that's also a defensive ultimate. So I was like, so it's probably not as good as Meteor Strike, though, because Meteor Strike, like, this leaves you in a vulnerable
and also,
state.
Bomb can actually get value, right? Because the thing is, like, if you use it correctly, aggressively, you'll force a lot of resources. The thing is, it like Diva Bombs, like I don't know if you have the statistics to back this up, but Diva Bomb kills in Overwatch 1. I feel like it got like 3 times more kills in Overwatch 1.
Yeah.
I think if you go and look at Blizzard's own statistics with like how many, like on average, how many kills the Diva Bombs get, that average has dropped more than just like 1 because of the 1 less player. It's dropped more than that. It's dropped crazy.
I guess it's one of those things where it's like the skill expression is insane on Diva Bombs. I can't land them. But like, if you're Poco, then the Diva Bomb is probably a little bit higher than C. But I'd say... I agree with you. It isn't very often that you see like a big 3k Diva Bomb. It isn't like...
It's just used as an extra life.
A lot of the time, I will throw a Diva Bomb out, and if I force Suzu, I'll be happy. Like, I'll throw it into a position.
You force some cooldowns with it, get more neutral out of it, and that's about that. Sometimes there's the odd sort of like, what do I know, like very open map, like the odd Icon Vault second point on bridge, and you see, okay, that's an angle here for there's an angle for a big bomb, right? And it does happen, and it's like, okay, well, they used Lamp, they used both Sire bubbles. Okay, I could probably go and force a kill here. And you do get kills with it, don't get me wrong, but yeah. It's like the kind of thing where a lot of the time it's like, if you get a kill, you're happy. If you force cooldowns, that's what you expect.
Yeah.
Or maybe like an extra life.
Copy.
Oh, that is such a difficult one to rank, though. Because that entirely depends on the meta. That entirely depends if you have a good copy.
This meta.
Current meta.
Yeah.
Right now.
I don't think it's an S tier. I think it's somewhere around here. I think it's maybe taking the angle to an A tier. But I'd probably put it B. Maybe not below Bob.
I mean,
it's the thing is, it's not. The issue is because you can't.
Higher.
Really, I was gonna say because like they have reduced the ult charge, so it is kind of tough now. Well, not tough. It depends who you copy, but like you're not always guaranteed to get an ultimate now with copy, whereas it used to be like so free to get an ultimate every single time. So
I mean, if you're bad, you don't get an ultimate. But you have to remember, like, we're thinking like. But we're assuming that the player isn't a I could see how it would be a bad ultimate for you because you don't actually know how to play a lot of characters.
Yeah. I'll always copy Sigma and never get Flux. I never get Flux.
Tanks are bad to copy in general, to be fair, because now you don't get the extra HP either. So like you're very much copy right now is just for whatever ability they may bring to the table and ultimate, right? So I said like in the Brick, Ana, Echo, Dive meta, the meta is to always copy the Ana fly up into the sky, copy Anna, get a nade, throw the nade down. Even if you don't get anything done there, it's free because you have such a high angle because you're flying. Second of all, if you do die, you're just immediately out of copy again, and you can just fly again, and you're safe. Chances are you get to get 2 nades off and maybe a nano. But like, what was my point really? If we take as a character and we assume that there is an ultimate on the enemy team that is considered S, then we must consider copy and S tier as well. What is the chance that there is an S tier on the enemy team? I don't think we give it an S because I don't think that's always going to happen. But I think we give it an A.
A?
Yeah, I don't think I agree that copy is like less valuable than a Bob.
To be fair, I was thinking more like down here, like above Bob. But
maybe. I think copy is strong. Dragon Blade is unironically maybe our first like lowest tier.
You think?
Yeah. Or at the very least, we're putting it at the bottom. To see.
I think we should make an additional Dragon Blade icon and do Nano Blade.
The thing is, non-damage boost Dragon Blade is so bad. There is a clip of one of my friends swinging on a Bastion, right?
Yeah.
Without damage boost. In wheels. And he gets the initial dash, then blades, dash again, so 2 dashes, and he lands 4 consecutive swings on him. Bastion ain't even bothered. He doesn't care. In wheels.
Yeah.
To be fair, he did have a little bit of healing from I believe in Anna at that time. But
well, if somebody's getting pocketed now, it does feel impossible to kill them with Blade. Everybody's
you
seen
need damage
that
boost
clip.
on Blade.
Everybody's seen that
clip,
clip
yeah.
of the High Noon getting mercy pocketed and the Genji slashes 4 slashes on him and he doesn't die. Like, he doesn't even take damage. Like, he's full HP, and then the Genji just gets killed by the High Noon. And it's like, well, okay.
Blade right now, the nerf to Blade in general and the massive amount of like support cooldowns and pocket healing in the game right now has made it so that non-damage Blade, and I'm saying damage Blade because already like just like a mercy boost is actually like drastically improving your chance of getting a kill here. Nano boost obviously being the big one. I think the issue with Blade in general is that Nano Blade is kind of like incredibly strong. But Dry Blade is legitimately useless.
Yeah, and
Actually, Dry Blade is so useless.
You can't boost Dry Blade too much either, because then, like, then how OP does it get? Because if it's just like a Mercy Pocket and then you boost Dragon Blade so that like 1 slash of a Mercy boosted Dragon Blade is a kill, sort of thing. Like, you can't boost it that much, and it's already strong enough with the Nano.
Yeah.
So it's like, Genji is in a really tough place. Genji could probably just do with like a better neutral value and just stick with having a bit of a sucky ultimate. But
yeah, I think so. Like back in a while ago, he was very much like a Blade bot, where it was like his neutral was terrible, so all you would play for was to farm like Blade kind of, and then you'd do Blade constantly. And like then we had like a really strong sort of like neutral Genji with like shurikens perhaps doing a little bit too much damage, and then you could constantly guarantee dash resets with like right click dashes, and that was also a bit too strong. And I think it's difficult for sure with Genji, but his Blade right now as it is. But some people will say, but Nano Blade is like the most overpowered thing ever, and I'm like, I do agree Nano Blade is very strong, but you also have to remember you're committing Nano and Blade for a fight. Like, you're committing 2 ultimates in order to get value, and it's like Yeah, that is strong, but you would also expect that to be strong. You committed 2
Yeah,
ultimates.
2 ults. It's 40% of your ult
One of
economy.
which, yeah, exactly. It's like, and one of which we have already said is an S tier ultimate, right? So
Yeah.
you would expect that to do that. So I actually think right now, Nano Blade is like not even like it is S tier, but it is S tier with the apostrophe that it also costs a lot to do.
And the likelihood is if you nano blade, you're not building any other ultimates, so whatever your ult economy is at that point, if you don't have another fight winner, you don't have a fight winning ultimate for the next fight either. So it's kind of like you need the nano blade. Yeah.
Anyway, Dry Blade
Blade.
is Dry Blade is such a terrible ultimate. Like I don't know what to say. It's so terrible. Dragon Strike.
I don't think it's that good.
C tier, low C tier. Like around there.
Should it just go here?
No, because it's better than Blade. I feel like it can be used as a zoning tool. It will force positioning.
It's better than Blade.
The thing is,
so
it's better than Blade, right? But it's more.
Probably actually.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, it's a C tier. It's a C tier. It's not a D.
Okay.
Is it better than?
I don't know if we need to.
High C tier, to be fair.
Is it better than Doom? I don't think so.
Okay, maybe not.
I think.
No, okay, maybe not. No. Okay, maybe not. No,
this is the more interesting one that I want to talk about. Tire.
Tire is a strong ultimate.
Yeah. But how strong?
Junkrat is terrible, but it's a strong ultimate.
Yeah, does he creep his way up here?
I think he does.
And how far does he creep his way up?
The thing about Riptire is that, like, a really good Junkrat will find, like, a short range, weird flank angle. And he will always get, like, a kill with the Riptire, right? And there's some skill to that, of course. Of course, like, there's the issue of, like, Riptire, obviously, you know, having to close the distance, sort of, like, get killed out in the open a lot of the time. But I feel like the best, like, I feel like Aquamarine gets a lot of Riptire kills, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like your average Junkrat probably ends up, you know, it's
getting it
like,
killed.
Yeah, it's like a mid-tier kind of deal, I feel like.
The thing is,
maybe a low mid-tier, yeah. I would maybe agree with that.
Even the Junkrats who don't get kills, the lower Junkrats who don't get kills with their Riptires, they force so much space because everybody is so scared of getting hit by a Riptire that it's so much value. Like literally everybody runs away in fear in the lower elos, and I mean in every elo you have to respect the tire to a certain extent. You have to give up space and, you know, get into a position where you're going to be able to kill it. So for 10 seconds, if you absolutely maximize it, for 10 seconds you have people living in fear of being hit by a tire and dying. I think it is quite a strong ultimate. I do think it's quite a strong ultimate. It's not nano boost. It's not nano boost.
Okay. I mean, I can agree with a low.
I think there's an argument for above Bob.
I feel like Bob is more guaranteed value. It's more consistent.
Bob is more guaranteed value. Yeah. It's probably like a high skill expression Junkrat will get more value out of it, but on average, you're more likely to
if this is Aquamarine, I'm happy to put it up there, like, you know, in the A tier, right?
Yeah.
But I think we're talking like just sort of like we're assuming that you're not a god at the hero. Then I feel like this is maybe like a mid tier, yeah. Like right. I think you placed it pretty accurately. I'm happy with where you've placed it.
Okay.
S tier.
S.
Well, straight into S. Yeah, arguably better than Nano Boost. Just to be very clear, Lucio is a dog tier character in ranked right now, and he's an S tier character in team play. But his ultimate
is insane. Yeah.
Universally, his ultimate is insane because you can either just negate so many ultimates in the game, you can stabilize a neutral fight you're losing, or you can straight up just, speed in with 600 HP barrier, 600 overhealth, or whatever it's called, 600 overhealth advantage, and just take a scrappy fight where you need to do so much less because you're just so much better.
Yeah.
It can be used defensively, it can be used aggressively, it can be used to sustain an aggressive push that you aren't quite capitalizing on correctly. It's just an S tier. Like, there's no doubt about it. It's the strongest, very strong ultimate. One of the best in the game.
Okay. Tony.
D. Low D. High D. I don't really care where it goes. To me, I'm indifferent. They're both garbage.
I'd have probably said it's worse than Blade, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like, if you look at Wanted, it's not uncommon for Wanted to just reload with it. I mean, and that's not even a flex. That's just him being like, well, I can't stand still in this elo. Like, they're playing dive capacity. If I try to get value with Heinemann, like, I get demolished. So it's just like a quick reroll to get an extra right click into the monkey or something like
that. In team play, these are both pretty good. I mean, this one's S tier in team play, but in comp, they're both kind of poo. Which is the trouble.
I don't think Blade is S tier in team play either.
No? When you consider that it gets nanoed all the time? Like, well, I guess it depends what comp you're playing. With the Queen comp, it doesn't, but...
So then Nano Blade is S tier, but that's just Blade, right?
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah. brother, if... let me be very clear here. If my sire always have a graviton, then Artillery Strike is an S tier ultimate. If we specifically always make sure that happens. I mean, then that's a very strong ultimate. Look at all the kills it got.
I got a 5k combo with that the other day.
Easy.
I was very proud of that.
Did you get the 5k or did someone else?
No, somebody else got the 5k. I got a 5k assist. But
okay. You got a 5k assist. So you existed. I see.
I existed. I didn't land the 5-man grav or anything. No. Okay.
No. Couldn't even finish the job. Anyway, okay.
Blizzard.
Oh, that's a good one. S tier? See, I would say in team play it's an S tier. But do we consider the fact that a lot of the time dive heroes are still played in ranked and therefore it's harder to catch someone?
No.
Just S tier? Okay.
I'm so happy to just put that at S tier. I am so content.
I mean, you are the tank player, so I can see how your take would be a little bit biased.
Yeah, maybe.
And you do not play Winston, and you can't really jump out of the blizzard or anything like that.
Yeah, well, but when they throw it directly at your feet, so that you've got no possible way of getting out.
I mean, there's a lot of tanks that can just get out. To be fair, Doomfist, Winston,
I think
Deep.
I think Ram, Queen, and Sigma might struggle a little bit with the 3 that I've been playing.
Yeah, you'd have to commit your, like, on Queen you'd have to commit ultimate. On Sig, you'd
have to accept
probably
death.
not really be able to do it. Eat it.
You have to eat it. On Ram.
Or on Ram, I think that's just you accepting that's happening.
I think maybe if you press Q, turn around and look away, because they don't want to let your annihilation live. And then maybe
because you're still going to be frozen. You're still going to be frozen.
Yeah.
And then they don't have to, like, they can still do damage from a range. So that is saying that because they move away from you, they cannot deal damage to you with range characters. no sense.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Also, your annihilation does no damage. I've been telling people this so often. It's like your
Yeah,
annihilation
the annihilation itself does no damage.
does no damage. It's irrelevant. The only reason you don't want to extend it is because you're extending his nemesis form, and those punches they do damage.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Valkyrie.
I'm not entirely sure I agree. It's undisclosure than S tier, by the way, Blizzard. I think it's more like an A tier. But we will have Motor be allowed to be annoyed as a tank player. Valk is like down there, yeah, for sure. Valk is not that strong. Maybe like the higher end of this tier.
Dun it. Oh wait, hold on, let me do that again. Dun it, dun it, dun it. Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah.
It's too late now, I'm not doing it again. How far?
Do you think like...
Does it go that far?
Nah. Does it? Nah. I'd say worse than Meteor Strike now.
There's 100% an angle to it being better than both of those, but I think there's also an angle to those being better than it. I think that one's a tough one. That one's a toughie for me, personally.
So for now, let's just put it there in the middle of the.
Yeah, it doesn't upset me it being there. To be honest, it doesn't upset me. I do definitely want to say it's there though.
I don't think. Maybe.
That's the only one. I feel like Artillery Strike probably goes ahead of it.
Okay. Well, what do we think about Dragon then? Like,
the only issue is I'm putting these head to head as well. Like I'm going like.
I'm trying to compare Dragon Strike and Valkyrie here. Like I feel like. It's a tough one. I'm not too upset about it being there. That's what I'll say.
We maybe should have done that. We maybe should have done this here at like role based. To be fair, because it's impossible.
Nah.
It's impossible to be like, is Artillery Strike better than Valkyrie? It's like those two things are beyond different. Like.
No, it's not. That's not impossible at all. That is a gross misunderstanding of the game, there, man.
I know.
It's gross.
I understand that like they each provide
how much value something provides is directly tied to your ability to control space and win team fights, right? And that is consistent no matter what, right? So it doesn't matter if it's a DPS hold or support hold, like it doesn't matter.
Okay, when you put it like that, I kind of go that. I kind of think that. I'd say the Valkyrie.
Okay.
I wouldn't say. I'd say you probably win more team fights when you've got a Meteor Strike than when you do Valkyrie. Like if those are the only ultimates.
Sure, I'm not too upset about it. I think like we can reevaluate later if needed. I'm not too upset. I think it's in the right category. I'm not entirely sure if it should be there though.
There?
No, Coalescence is so much lower.
Really? You think?
Yeah, Coalescence is low, man.
I'd have said low B. What, like, do we think here or?
It's just a healing and a damaging ultimate, like, and you're also kind of vulnerable while you're in it. Like, I don't know, it's not strong.
There?
You do have your fate now, to be fair. It's better than Dragon, that's for sure. I'd probably also say it's better than Valk.
Yeah.
Because it does have team carry potential.
Has the damage plus the healing plus a fade. Gives you invulnerability and cleanse. Resets your resource meter.
Do that. It doesn't do that, man. What are you on about?
What?
It doesn't give you invulnerability or cleanse.
No, the fade. You have fade while you're in it, so you have invulnerability and cleanse.
Yeah, but your fade has nothing to do with your ultimate. Your fade is independent.
Yeah, but it is part of the ultimate though.
No, it's not.
Part of Coalescence is having the fade.
No, it's not. because it doesn't reset the cooldown of your fade. Your
So are we
fade
not
is
factoring in
completely
Guardian
independent.
Angel to Valkyrie or the healing beam because that's part of your neutral kit?
No, no, what you're saying makes no sense though, because while you're Valking, you get the extra beams, right? And that's what you do. But it's like, and yes, you can apply your res and whatnot. But what I'm telling you is that you can fade while you're in ultimate, yes. But your ultimate doesn't give you cleanse or invulnerability. That is a mad take to say that
No,
it
I'm
does
not
that.
saying the ultimate gives you that. I'm saying that you have that while you're in your ultimate because of fade.
Yeah, Yeah,
which
you
is
have
part
you
of,
do
which is
ha- you
part of
do
the
have that.
ultimate.
I mean, it's part of Moira.
Oh yeah, okay, it's part of Moira then, but like that is still included in the caveat of I'm in Coalescence, I can fade and cleanse myself and become invulnerable and have movement while
But
in
Moira
this
can just
ultimate.
do that. But
Moira
Moira
can
can
just
just
do that,
do that.
but what I don't know. I feel as if that is something to consider that does make it even
It
stronger.
does makes it easier to apply for sure, but it's not like it's the ultimate, because like Mercy actually does get more movement speed while you're in Valk, and it does give you more beams while you're in Valk, right? But saying that it's like, oh, Coalescence is so strong because it has cleanse tied to, like, no, it's just Moira can
I'm
just
not saying
apply it.
it's strong because of that. I'm just saying that is more factors. It gives you insane healing output, insane damage output, heals you while you're moving around in it. It gives you movement speed. You can fade and cleanse yourself and become invulnerable, and the added movement of fade as well. Resets your resource meter, so it increases your neutral value once you're finished.
Yeah, I mean, yes,
So
but
you're just Moira minus the orb and with a massive beam that does both healing and damage. I think it's quite a strong ult, to be honest. I think her ult is not the weak part of her kit.
no, definitely not. But I don't think it's. I also think it's that strong. To be fair, I think it's too easy to negate as well.
I mean, I'm not saying. Yeah, I mean, anti-nade ruins it, but I'm not saying like go put it in S tier. But like, I think it is.
No, it's definitely better than Valk, yeah. But I don't think
Probably better.
it's not better than where it is now. Is what I'll say. I don't feel like it's really.
Okay.
It's not that strong. It's not that strong because it's like it's only in low tiers where someone will be incredibly overextended that the Moira will just beam that person down with a damage ult and then they die. I feel like in higher elos, Moira pops ult and she just gets doved upon because she has that one fade and that's it.
Yeah.
And then also for the duration while you're in fade, the beam doesn't actually happen anymore, right?
Yeah. That was the one thing that I was going to say, and it's not like the timer gets paused either.
No, exactly. And then it's like, and also just regular pocketing from any support really will make it so that a target just doesn't redive. I don't know. I feel like unless you're committing as a team with Coalescence is not that strong. And the higher elos, like I think if we're saying we're playing in Brawl, it may perhaps be a stronger ultimate. I think it rapidly decays in value in the higher elos. Rapidly.
I'm okay with it being where
Yeah.
it is. I would have maybe put it over Meteor Strike, but we'll move on to the next. We probably need to speed this up a little bit actually. Terra Surge.
I can't really see your stream anymore. It has disappeared. But oh, I got an icon at least. Well, that'll serve for now.
Terra Surge. D tier. Happy?
No, it's definitely stronger than that.
Really? What, like still D tier, just there, or in C tier?
No, it's like way higher. It's like middle of the pack kind of higher.
Really? I think it's a terrible ultimate.
I think you're just bad tank, but
it just gets negated by so much. I don't play Orisa. I play against Orisas, and I never see it get kills.
Okay. It gets negated by so much. Let me know what it gets negated by.
Cleanse, Nade.
Okay.
Bap.
Nate, yeah,
Just
go
a
on.
healer. Just a heal. Like a healer who doesn't get caught in it can just heal the people in there, because every
No, they
hero.
can't. No, they can't. It goes to 500 damage. You cannot heal 500 damage, man. It's
No,
one
but
shot.
in the time that it takes you to walk out, she doesn't reach 200%. She doesn't reach 200 damage.
No. So what you're thinking of here is that it needs to get kills in order to get value, which is the constant just fallacy of people not grasping value, right? It gets value. It gets a lot of value. And here's the thing, right? If nothing, you disposition people, you force movement, shift abilities. Maybe you just do a little bit of damage and you force people to do something. But it's always value. It gives you fortify as well. Something you have to remember. It gives you a fortify. So it allows you to play sustained for longer. And we're not talking about you can use fortify in the thing. It gives you fortify. An extra fortify. So I think it actually gets a lot more value. I think at best it gets kills or a kill. At worst, it forces a ton of defensive abilities that you want to force in order to be able to play more aggressive anyway. I don't think we're saying that Terra Surge is a bad ultimate.
I don't think it's that amazing, but
I don't think it's that amazing either, because it's obviously middle of the pack. But there's no angle to saying it's a terrible ultimate, because it's so easy to apply, and you can make it. So Orisa is just about sit back and shoot, right? You live. That's what you do. You force the tank matchup a lot of the time, and you just live. Now you can fortify, like you can javelin spin, fortify, javelin spin, Terra Surge, javelin spin, and probably have another fortify. Right?
yeah.
And it's just in the grand scheme of things, I feel like if you get greedy with that ultimate, yeah, you're going to get, like, if your timing is bad, you get no value with that ultimate. If your positioning is bad, you get no value with that ultimate. But if you know when to go aggressive and who to go aggressive for, like, it's just guaranteed forced either a kill or important cooldowns.
Okay. Barrage. I really don't know. Probably B. Maybe C.
I feel like Barrage just... Oh, it's so difficult. The thing is, the Barrage pretty much at the higher end, unless you're like giga pocketed. Barrage means you die.
Yeah, I was about to say,
time.
you get blown up every time you pop Barrage.
So it's like at the higher end, it's like the deal of like you want to kind of like get 2 kills with it, so that then you die, but then it's okay because you killed 2.
Yeah.
And then maybe you have a mercy that can rest, right?
Unless you're Yaz and then you get 5. And then it doesn't matter, you live as well.
Yeah, no, like I mean, he is also constantly pocketed, which is what I said. Like it's unless you're pocketed, always. He like hot take, but Yesen without a pocket immediately goes from like an insane player to like
oh dear.
a little bit mid pack, a little bit of the. It's true though. It's like he needs that pocket, and I'm not saying that's necessarily like his fault per se, but it's just an issue with the character he plays, right? But it's like I'm just saying it's laughable how bad he becomes without a pocket. Laughable.
Wow. Okay, well you heard it here first. The Yasna is boosted.
No, not boosted. Just you just
that's
need
what Mick just
that.
said. He just gets boosted by his mercy pocket eagles.
That's not what I said. That is not what I said. This is Motor once again putting words in my mouth. He's not very good at listening. No, that's not what I said. It is just the character he plays. That is the way it works.
Okay.
It's that it.
C.
But yeah.
Oh no, B.
I'm so indifferent about it. I honestly think we could probably put it lower. Around that area, yeah.
Cool. Death Blossom.
It's a low one as well.
Does it get
The thing
more
is
volume
like,
than Dragon Strike?
like what I'm thinking about is like, I'm thinking, so you think Terra Surge is a terrible ultimate, right?
Yeah.
Then surely we think the thing that can legitimately also be cancelled, and you can also just kill the guy, is surely like a lot worse. So we agree it's not like it's not a B tier, right? We do agree it's worse than Terra Surge,
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
right? I mean, like, any crowd control, it's immediately over. Any 250 damage headshot value,
Yeah.
it's immediately over. Cleanse, anti-nade. It's probably quite low, yeah.
Down there.
Yeah, probably down there.
Earth Shatter. Probably not very high.
No, it's low.
Low, or it's not at the higher end? Like, are we thinking like here?
Yeah.
Right. These are gonna have to be quite rough. Whole Hog is actually kind of an interesting one, I think.
I think it's yeah, maybe around there, sure.
Maybe a little bit up, or
It is, yeah, like in the middle of there. So like, I think it's easier to force value and isolate and get a kill with it than it is Terra Surge for sure, right? Graph.
Flux.
Graph is high.
Ah, are we putting it up there?
What's
I don't know if we put it up there.
Is that Flux or Graph?
This is Flux.
Okay, Flux. Okay.
I don't know if it goes S tier. I
think Flux does go S tier.
I guess 50% of your HP gone is pretty massive, to be fair.
50% of your HP gone forces positioning. Like, you will respect the ultimate every single time. Get out support cooldowns and individual shift abilities for survivability, so that your poke damage might actually end up being a little bit threatening.
Yeah, movement.
I think it's movement. It's applying pressure to apply neutral value. It's kill threat, like kill potential. It can both get kills and it can get cooldowns.
Yeah.
Quite reliably. I think it's high. I think it's a high tier.
Yeah, that was a little bit of cope for me to not say S, to be fair.
Visor is somewhere low C.
Really?
I think, yeah.
Well, yeah,
low
actually,
CD.
that makes sense. Low C. What we think?
No, lower than that.
Surely not.
Do you think?
I personally would have said about there.
Okay. All right.
EMP.
After the change of EMP, it's still a strong ultimate, man. Like, it's still a strong ultimate, and you have to remember it does a 3-second ability lockout again.
What do we think it's going up here, or do we think it's like just scratching?
No, I think the ultimate is strong as all. Like,
well, the thing is, it cancels every single ultimate that is also going to be on here. So then you kind of have to, well, except for Nano.
No. It's not about the fact that it cancels it. It's just the sheer damage and the fact that it gives like a 3-second ability lockout. The ultimate is strong. Now you rarely get it anymore because of the charge nerfs, and also Sombra's neutral is hot poo poo right now, right?
Yeah.
So Sombra as a character is bad, but the ultimate isn't bad. Like, the ultimate is strong. Yeah, I'd put it like low A.
Low A. What you think? Worse than the copy?
Put it like low A. I mean, it's probably better than copy, to be fair.
Okay, I was gonna say I think it probably is. Simwall.
I think that's actually an S tier.
S.
Yeah, I do think so. It's so strong. You rarely see it because no one plays them.
Or better.
And I think you rarely get to like, but like, it's such a fucking strong. Well, I mean, not that word though. It's such a not that word. It's such a strong ultimate. I just feel like no one uses it because no one plays Sim. Like, how many plays Sim?
Yeah, you don't see it very often.
Like, you don't see it, right? But I do actually think that if we look past the fact that Symmetra perhaps has a bit less ideal sort of like player identity right now, or hero identity, the ultimate is strong. Being able to isolate fight in whichever way you want to and just immediately claim all of that space is strong.
Yeah, do we think it's better than Flux? I don't know if it's better than Flux.
No, because it's not sort of like guaranteed the same way, I feel like.
Yeah.
I have to be a little creative with it.
More
Not better than
core.
Flux, no.
D?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we'll just
maybe I'd put it next to the other like fairly useless zoning ultimates in D. Dragon Bomb.
Yeah.
Dragon Bomb kind of angle. I don't think it's
worse.
quite as bad.
I think it's worse than those. I think it's probably topping. You know, it's the polished turd in D tier, but it's not. It's not.
I'd put it the lowest D tier, just so that we have the zoning ults that aren't very good. Because the thing is, if nothing, it at least doesn't get you killed. The free things at the bottom, I feel like, are the ones that will just get you killed. Like Dragon Blade, High Noon, Blossom. It's like you exist in those ultimates and you're dead.
Pulse. I think it's sitting in the top 3. Like I have no question in my mind. It's either high B or it's sitting in the top 2 actually, probably.
Wait, there's an issue though, because this is an ultimate tier list, not an ability tier list.
Exactly. It is essentially an ability.
So, I think we say high B with it, because I do think landing it is like it will always force value in terms of a reaction, or like forcing like baiting a cooldown or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But like landing it and actually like whatnot, I feel like it's
okay. All right. This is what I'll say. Put it there, because I feel like those two guarantee more value. If we're talking exclusively like GM to top 500, then it's probably up in A or S.
Fair.
That's
Fair.
the caveat. I think that's probably the caveat of Pulse Bomb. Sights.
Yeah, no fair.
It's creeping somewhere in C, probably.
I mean, yeah. I mean, again, once again, like in a team environment, in a poke matchup, Sights is actually like really strong. But in like your average game where Sights is just used to get the sniper duel advantage, it's maybe like down. Sure.
Primal
Rage is strong. It's
strong.
ult. I don't know. It is strong. It is massively strong.
No, I was hovering over S. I was like, no, that's strong.
Oh yeah. No. I think it used to be an S tier, but I think given like certain support power creep, I actually think we could maybe make an argument that Primal Rage is, given the skill expression, higher than that.
You think? Yeah. Okay. Above that, definitely above that.
I think it's above Pulse Bomb too.
That one's throwing me a little bit, but I'm willing. Is it?
I mean, that's just because you're bad. It's just because you're bad at the game, man.
Thank you.
No worries. No, I mean that in the nicest way possible, because it is like Primal Rage is a very high skill ceiling ability, ultimate, and if you can't do the things you need to do with it, you won't get value, right? But are we just assuming that people are bad then? Because then I'm happy to say it's worse than Pulse Bomb. But
well, okay. Well, this is the thing though. Okay, we just said if we're talking like GM to top 500, I'm willing to move it up, and then you're like, but people don't consistently land it. But in those elos, people do quite consistently land it, and it's on...
Sure, then put it below.
Because that's what I mean. Like, we have to assume that people are going to maximize these ultimates. If you're maximizing that ultimate, well, I guess
I mean, it's higher than that then. No, I was gonna say we are, because then it's higher than that.
Yeah. So
But it's fine. Let it be. To be fair, the discussion is more important than the finite tier list. Mines.
not great. Doesn't get you killed though.
I think Mines is actually a fairly decent ultimate. I just think that we're thinking lower because no, it's higher than that. It's higher than that. It's easily up with like artillery strike. Think about it. Such a good zoning ultimate.
I was literally
One
just sticking
control.
it anywhere in C.
Yeah.
Better than
It's
Meteor Strike.
maybe not.
Better than Earth Shatter, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy to push it up a little because it is a thing where it's like it forces you to like clear them some way. It controls space. It can force shift abilities. It's free to apply. It's getting killed.
For some characters, it can be a free kill as well. Like if there's an Ana and their life like they don't have like a life weaver can grip them out, like a Suzu or something, then that can be a guaranteed kill sometimes.
It can certainly complicate things as well. I do actually think you can do some like nade and then you can one shot kind of like deal. Oh wait, no, not nade. You can just. Oh, what is? There's a combo. I forget it. Doesn't matter. You can one tap them with regular Ana shots, right? I think you can.
Possible.
Anyway, it doesn't. You're right. There's certain characters without movement or cleansing abilities and whatnot, immortality, will struggle.
Graviton Surge.
That's probably quite high.
I don't know if it's creeping A. I'm kind of just shuffling it around right now, thinking. There, maybe.
Nah, higher. Once again, Graph itself is amazing. Sire might not be in the best spot, but Graph is a good thing. You can fully isolate one or two targets and just kill them if you know how to do it, right?
Yeah.
That is strong. It has team-wide potential in team play. Yes, it's a slow charging ultimate, sure, but
A good Zarya can have that up every other fight. Oh no, every fight and a half. Sorry, every fight and a half is what I meant to say.
yeah, I'd go higher. I'd honestly give it an A tier. AoE crowd control ultimates in general are just really fucking strong. I mean, blipping strong. I can't. I can't.
Transcendence.
Transcendence.
High.
Weirdly, not as strong as in Overwatch 1.
No.
I feel like in Overwatch 1, I would have said like that was like an S tier. But like nowadays,
I think it's low A, high B. Low A, high B.
The thing is, I know for a fact that the best Zenyatta players in the world use this ultimate to just go more aggressive on an angle.
Just to go take an off angle.
Just go take an angle and like just run and gun and be like, okay, I can do this because I have that button. It is probably no, but the thing is like the thing is it used to be in Overwatch 1 that having Transcendence on 5 people, well 6 I guess, if you count yourself too, would be really, really strong for just brawl capability. You could just brawl the fight out. But now it's like it's not as strong because you play more split than you ever have in the game. Like we've talked about it a little bit in terms of like low elos, things that you should be stacking up, but in reality the meta of the game is honestly to be controlling quite a lot more space and splitting out. But the place you have to go to is specific to your character. I feel like Transcendence isn't actually that strong. Maybe we can keep it there and it's okay. Like in a team environment, Transcendence is definitely a lot stronger, but it's like, do they win fights? I mean, they do sometimes.
Trance is probably a fight winner in team play. In comp, maybe not so much. I'm not exactly sure. Because in team play, you're never gonna play like an Ana. You're very rarely gonna play into an Ana. if you're playing Zen, because you'll probably be playing it on you'll probably be playing Zen on Circuit Rail or something, which means they'll also have a BAP Zen for the poke
Yeah.
matchup. Typically, obviously it depends who you're playing. And in that case, you pop the Transcendence to the Flux, and then immediately after the Flux, you can go aggressive with the Trance Healing. So
Yeah. Okay. I mean, sure. Keep it there.
Railgun,
S tier. S tier. Easily.
S tier.
Easily.
They're in S tier, or
I think we can go higher.
you thinking there? I don't know if it surpasses. Does it surpass Blizzard?
Maybe not. No. But
Okay, the thing is, it depends on the player again. Like if you're a good Surgeon
Railgun
player, if you're a good Surgeon player,
Railgun is objectively incredibly strong. Constantly having Railgun piercing shots is crazy. It has insane zoning capabilities because everyone has to move away when you hear this ends now.
yeah.
Kill potential, cooldown forcing potential.
Okay, don't stand in a line.
Very very easy to land as well because Railgun's hitbox size is like I want to be very clear, like whenever like people like look at like railguns, be like, oh, I'm landing those railguns. I'm always thinking like I have no aim and I can consistently land railgun. It's so easy to land railgun. It's getting the charge and having positions like whenever you do not have railgun charge is the difficult part of that hero, man. I couldn't hit like a barn fence to save my life at point blank, but the railgun is somehow I can land that. It's just so big. I think I actually have a clip of me like first time playing Sojourn, and I just go in and kill 3 immediately on Circuit Royale, and I'm like, and I just go like, well, that projectile size is a bit questionable.
See, you're laughing along saying this. I'm like, I can't hit shots. I've had games where I've had 0% railgun accuracy in like 10 minutes.
It is a gradient. It is a gradient motor. I don't have mechanics. My mechanics are bad. You don't have mechanics. Your mechanics are way worse. It's like we're both on the bad end. You're just like you're like reaching bronze level mechanics.
Thank you.
You
Well,
know?
it just makes it all the more impressive that I'm masters. So
Oh yeah, no. I mean, you don't. I mean, improving your mechanics may help you quite a bit, actually. To be fair, bud. But we can always talk about that at some point. Anyway,
Rampage. This one, I don't actually know. I say it's quite strong. Well, okay, yeah. It gives tick damage. It gives the bleed to Queen. It antis you.
movement.
Movement.
It is rather
Arguably-
easy to. I would say, like nowadays, you often find that it doesn't really get kills, though. It just puts you in a position to get kills.
Yeah, because it forces cooldowns. Is
I'd
it
maybe
stronger
say
than-
like a high D, I would put it up like above, maybe Bob. Maybe I'm actually also above Rally, to be fair. Probably like the highest in D.
You're saying D instead of B, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Is that just because you're
I
Danish?
No, it's because I'm currently looking at about 5 pixels because your stream quality is somewhat reminiscent of 2005 technology.
Imagine being that old that you know what 2005 technology was like.
I mean, this would be impossible in 2005, just to be clear. But still, I was 5. It's like it's not like I knew, you know. But I'm not that old, man. I'm not that old.
No, you're just like 7 years older than me.
Is it 7?
Yeah, you're 24, yeah.
Yeah, I'm 24. I should do this as well.
Kitsune Rush, easy ass.
It's probably yeah, it's easy. It's probably bordering 8 years, to be fair. But yeah,
Best ultimate in the game?
no, it's a low S tier.
Lowest tier.
Yeah, it fell off after the nerfs. To be fair,
That low?
it's not lower.
Oh.
Lowest of S. I'm not even. I'm starting to consider maybe like it's a high A and not.
No way.
Yes. After the nerfs, yes.
It's always a fight.
But it did. No, it isn't.
Okay, that's true.
Especially not when there's 3 squishies in front on Esperanza, and for some reason it's chasing the enemy queen in our backline instead of sending him like Kazune. There's a clip of this, folks. I will go and clip this and put it. I will and put it on the screen.
I'm deleting the post right now, so you won't be able to get the code back.
I don't play the game, Motor. The code is in my replays.
No. Oh, no.
I will clip it right now and draw a circle around 3 squishies. Sojun and Ash and a Kiriko in a Kitsune on last point Esperanza, right around the corner from where the train is. And the enemy queen is running sort of like in our backline. And the Motor, being the 900 gigachat IQ gigachat he is, instead of standing in my Kitsune and just like axing and kniving and shooting these squishies, he just runs away. He just lecks it away, because I think Lucio has pointed out that the queen is on our Sojun or something like that. I was like, just let the queen kill the Sojun if you want. We have 3 easy kills here. Let the queen do that.
Just go away.
I'm sorry.
Just go away.
It's not worth it.
Just go away.
See, it would be okay if he did it only the once, but he did it a little bit more than that. So yeah, he
You want it above?
yeah. It's better than Amixtrix. Yeah, sure. Annihilation. It used to be really strong, but I feel like honestly it's not that bad anymore.
I would have probably said maybe actually it's there. That's a solo fight winner. That is a solo fight winner. In comp and team play. Unless they invest more ults, that is typically a fight winner by itself.
I don't know. How many times have we played against an enemy team Ramatra and we just put a blizzard on them? That's that.
And that's why the blizzard is higher.
Yeah, but I think you're overestimating the value of Annihilation. You're right, it used to be quite egregious, but I feel like it's so easy to just make it expire now. We can keep it where it is. I'm not bothered about it.
Tree.
It's a low ultimate. It's a low one. I don't know how low. I think most of the time, have you ever thought about Tree being out and then it has changed too much about how you play? It's like you kind of just force the same cooldowns and do the same damage.
Yeah.
It's like you may... Like, you obviously don't want to brawl an enemy team on top of Tree, but it's like...
Yeah. I mean, people do seem... If they've got double flexible, people do seem invincible when they're standing next to
in
Tree.
Yeah, of course. And there should be.
Yeah.
But I also, like, it's like, you can also just kind of, like... Because it does count as terrain for them too, right? So you could just kind of, like, kite behind.
Yeah, I was going to say, you just kite the tree. You just got to kite the tree, or, you know, maybe you're playing Queen, you land, like, a big rampage, or you're playing Anna, and you land a big nade, and then it's kind of like, well, their tree is useless now. You know, like...
It's just, the thing is, it's just healing. It's just, like, a worse sort of, like...
Trant.
Yeah, I don't know. It's, like, even worse than that, to be fair.
Above Shatter?
Yeah. I'm not too bothered about it. It's not a good ultimate in any shape or form. It's very low value.
It's probably better than Barrage. It doesn't actively get you killed. And
sure.
It does get value. It's just... I'd probably put... yeah, maybe below Visor.
Sure.
Alariel, I can't remember what it's called now. Sunstruck.
Yeah, put it around the zoning ultimates, to be fair.
What? D? Oh,
no,
C.
no.
Best of the zoning ults, though, surely. Better than Cole and Barrage and Tree. Am I being an idiot here? Surely.
No, no, it's okay.
And...
It's an ultimate you get a lot, to be fair. Cage fight.
Cage fight. to close
Cage
this
Fight is
pod.
really strong. Cage Fight is really strong. Such a good ultimate.
Is it as strong
His
now that Morgan's
neutral,
kind of nerfed?
it still is incredibly strong. Yeah, Morgan's just bad. Remember, we're not talking about the characters. We're talking about the ultimates.
But his is directly linked to how good he is, because if he is bad and he
Still good. Still good.
traps you in
It's
cage fight,
it's still
then
good.
he
Still
gets bullied.
amazing. It's crowd control. It's isolation. It's shield. Like it is also a shield for you, which a lot of people forget about. And if used correctly, it will always land kill. Biggest issue with Morg ultimate is people use it aggressively. They'll run in and they'll put it on top of 5, and now you're with 5 people and you're still dead, and you're like, oh well, that's bad. If you use it correctly, if you use it where you should be using it, which is basically just to let people like push you on a corner, and when they sort of overstep, maybe like a Mei or like a Reinhardt or whatever they're playing,
Yeah.
and you play Morgan, and you know you have the matchup. Obviously, you have to know that you have the matchup. You put it down, you isolate 2 people, you get 2 kills, right? If you're doing it right, which you can't force to happen, so it's a little bit like questionable. But it's a strong ultimate. I think it's a strong ultimate. I put it around like Rampage, maybe.
Oh, well, really? Above Rally?
Yeah, definitely. It's a strong ult.
Well, that's the completed tier list then. So take that.
2
in.
swears during the tier list.
Pardon?
2 swears during the tier list. My bad.
That's all good. I'm only now just realizing that I probably should have put a light on so my lighting has stayed consistent, because now I look really bright. I'm not going to do it now though, so...
Nah, it's fine. A little bit of pale skin never hurt anyone.
It's blinding a few people right now. Sorry guys.
You're blinding me. Blinding lights. You heard it here first. By Moto.
Okay, well, we have gone over the 2 hours, but we can't finish without doing hardest Coper of the week. We'll make this one quick though, because we have went over a lot of
skins
time.
are just reskins anyway. No one cares.
Skins are just reskins. Don't worry about them.
They're just reskins for Anna and for Sigma. So yeah, basically they are legendaries, but they are also reskins, so no one cares. Done.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Nobody above GM4 actually thinks Suzu. Oh, by the way, this is the hardest scope of the week. Not me. I'm not saying this. I'm not just coming out with like a big statement.
No, yeah.
Nobody above GM4 actually thinks Suzu is that busted. Kiri's problem is she does too much. Not that Suzu itself is broken. The ability is overall healthy for the game. It sucks having your ult ruined, but at this point it's a skill issue. Her mobility is the most problematic thing. Now what I will say is, there's a very much big opinion going around with the game. Spilo's talked about it quite a bit, and in case you guys couldn't tell by now, me and Mick very much love Spilo's opinion. Mobility is one of the healthiest and best parts about this game, and the best things for this game. Having a really low mobility character is not exactly amazing, and being able to move a lot is really good in the game. So saying that her issue isn't having this really busted ability that does every single possible thing that a support needs, you know, the cleanse, the heal, the invulnerability, you know, like the impermeability as well, like having
It's
all of the...
it's heal, cleanse, invulnerability, and intangibility.
Intangibility, yeah, sorry.
Yep.
Like having people saying, the idea of saying that ability is healthy for the game is, like, in my opinion, crazy. And then saying that her issue is
Also, it's AOE. It's AOE as well,
oh,
and
yeah,
it's
AOE.
AOE, and it heals more if you cleanse.
Yeah, it does a lot. It does a lot. So saying that isn't healthy for the game, is healthy for the game, but what isn't healthy is the fact that she can wall climb and TP to people. That's wrong. That is just wrong. They are right in saying that she does too much. The thing is, I think we could look at the possibility of, if people wanted to keep Suzu the way it is, it would be all right if they mega nerfed other parts of her kit. But I think that isn't healthy. That is not the healthy approach to making Kiriko a balanced hero, because we don't want a really bad like overall neutral Kiriko who can just like pop Suzu every 14 seconds and it's like a game changing ability. I think everybody, support players, tank players, DPS players, everybody would agree that, as we always talk about, nerfing Suzu down a little bit, tweaking Suzu down so it's more commonly available but does a little bit less, is a much better way of changing the game. And I think that is really the only approach that you can look at where everybody's going to be happy, because then at least the support players still get the Suzu ability and it'll be high impact when you consider how often you can use it and how much it does. It's interactive gameplay, and then you still get all your neutral kit as opposed to having to lose all your neutral kit, all your mobility, but keeping this really cool E ability. Because the likelihood is, if they nerf it, the way that they'd have to nerf Kiriko is making her TP a lot weaker and maybe taking wall climbing off of her or something, and then you're just going to get dived on repeat and get that Suzu forced constantly.
I think I think it's so in terms of this takes. This is the way I look at it, right? So from a coach perspective, right? Kiriko is strong right now for one or two reasons at the highest level. It is a lot of skill expression as well. I just want to be clear. In most ranks, Kiriko is struggling with having a lower than 50% win rate, and it's only around the highest ranks that she has like a 50+ win rate, right? So the first thing that is important to understand in this whole ordeal is that she's actually not that strong. People just hate her because she feels terrible to play against, right? So we need to disconnect value and sort of like feeling like you're getting value, and like characters being strong versus feeling like they're strong, right? Because she is not actually that strong. She just feels like she's like this unbeatable thing. And that's exactly the issue with her. The issue is that you cannot force a good Kiriko player to die. Like a good Kiriko player will take an egregiously like aggressive angle to the point of like flanking. And even if you don't believe me here, go and watch Spylo's video on the who was it? It was an Overwatch League pro who played Kiriko. Anyway, it's an Overwatch analysis, and on New Queen Street, this Kiriko walks through gym, drops behind bot as the enemy is pushing it, takes like 5 shots, Susus herself, and then they win the fight from there with a Kiriko legitimately flanking them behind. And she is not punished in Overwatch League for doing that, right? She drags the attention of 3 players towards her. That's why she Susus. Keeps the angle because she knows that she's dragging enough attention that way that that the team can engage. But the thing is she constantly knows that, if you look on the clip, she constantly knows that her Sojourn is just like to the left top behind Jim on the defenders like high ground. So even if they did win that fight, she would have just been out, right? And that's what feels bad about it. Now combine that with the fact Suzu makes you invulnerable, cleanses, heals. If we have 2 things, one that can help the team and one that can help you forever, I think what needs to happen is we need to remove 2 effects from Suzu, and I stand by the idea that Suzu should be a heal and a cleanse. It shouldn't be an invulnerability and an intangibility. Remove those 2. Make it so that you can boop and you can slow boop, crowd control in general when people are on the Suzu. Make it so that they can take damage, but make it so that it's still a cleanse. I think it's okay to have a cleanse, and I think it's okay to have healing, and I think it's okay to have more healing when you cleanse. I think that's okay. That's fine. But I think when the target can just also not target it or be killed, I think that's when it becomes a little bit too silly. I think it's when Suzu counters like a rip tire that is fairly well placed. versus I just threw
Yeah.
out my white ball of glory, and then we removed that ultimate. I don't think that that's entirely fair. I don't think that's fun. I think TP should be so. I do think. Also, just to be clear, having coached top 250 plus players, top open division, lots of general sort of like low mid GM players as well. 4.3, 4.4, whatever we want to call it. GM 2, GM 3, which isn't actually 4.4, 4.3, but point taken. Is that I've coached people above GM4, a lot of people, and I can tell you that the waters are ass split in that elo. There's the people that just, I don't really care, and then there's certain people like Sojourn and Soldier mains and Ash mains who are like, why is this a thing? Because the Sojourn will just walk up on them flank. This like the Sojourn will become, or like not even the Sojourn, like the Ash for example, will just be flanked by a Kiriko. And it doesn't matter whether or not the Kiriko is winning or losing, because the Ash may not win, but she can lose. Kiriko may not win, but she can't lose. That's the annoying part.
Yeah.
That is what needs to change. So we need to change Suzu, remove 2 of the effects, intangible, and remove invulnerable, and then increase the cooldown or decrease the range of TP, so that it is much more of a I can't divert from my team as much as I am right now, and then just be out of there whenever I need to. That's what I need to think needs to happen. So the post isn't entirely wrong about the mobility being an issue, but certainly I think saying that Suzu is just fine in health is also mega coping. It is not.
Yeah. Okay, I'm happy with where we've got up to. We did go over a little bit, but that's fine. But yeah, I think that's where we are going to leave you guys for this week. So yeah, thank you very much to everybody who watched, and we'll see you at the same time next week. Thank you.
Yeah.